So now I'm working on the much anticipated armadillo recipes. I've got a couple of prime armadillo back straps. You heard me right, back straps, and they're actually pretty darn good size. Those are like chicken tenders. So I'm going to try a couple different things with them. I've got, I'm going to do some kind of Philly cheesesteak type mini Philly cheesesteak things where I'll take the armadillo, slice it real thin, and saute it in a pan with some bell pepper, onions, and mushrooms. Then I'm going to take it and roll it in a crescent roll and put it in the oven. I did that. I've never cooked armadillo at all, so I'm just making this all up as I go with everything else that I do. But I did do that with some bobcat backstrap 2 years ago. Took it to our family Christmas dinner, and the few people that did try it were pretty impressed that it you would have never guessed that it was bobcat backstrap, and it just turned out really good. And I feel like that's a good way to kind of ease things in to a recipe. So we'll see. Other thing I'm going to do is take the other one and fry it, because everything's good fried, right? So I got my pan heating up. I'm going to put some bacon grease in my saute pan. We're not going for healthy, we're going for tasty. Let that heat up, and then I'm going to throw my mushrooms, onions, and bell peppers in a little bit early, because I'm going to slice that armadillo pretty thin. It shouldn't take too long for it to cook. I got all that cut up. I'm going to take my armadillo, and I've had this soaking in salt water for a couple days, so you can see that looks like pork, or that could very easily be mistaken for a chicken tender, I feel like. I don't know if that's because it soaked in the water and kind of took some of the color out of it, or what. But I'm gonna, whenever I do backstrap, a lot of times backstraps will have the tendons along part of it. I always try to get those out, so I'm just looking over this as I go, and I'm just thinly slicing it. And I'm going to season it with a little Cavender seasoning. I don't know if y'all are familiar with Cavender seasoning, but that stuff is delicious. And I think you can pick it up most anywhere, Walmart, Kroger, wherever your local grocery store is. So I'm taking this one. And there's actually a surprising amount of meat on this armadillo. This two decent sized back straps, like I say, chicken tender sized back straps. You got, if you can see this, a couple of big, that's the front legs. One of them's the front leg and one of them's the back leg. But it's bigger than a rabbit, bigger than a cottontail. There's a pretty good amount of meat on them. Not to say that even if this does turn out well, I'm going to start cleaning every armadillo that I come across, but it's worth trying out, right? So, got my bacon grease is melting over there, so I'm going to add this stuff to saute. I got my oven preheating for my crescent rolls. It don't look like a lot, but I don't have a lot of meat here. So now I'm going to make me some batter for frying the other piece. So there's nothing special to the batter that I use. I'm just using flour. I've got a little bit of milk to help it stick, hopefully. And again, there's a little bit of sinew on here that I'm trying to peel off. Make sure that it's off good. And just going to kind of cut it down the middle and give me a couple of armadillo fingers there. One thing I like to do, I'm fixing to put this in with my other stuff and season it. But I do like having some seasoning, whether that's seasoning in my batter or seasoning the meat itself. So kind of get a little backwards here. What I'm going to do, dip it in the milk, put some Cavenders on it, and then I'm going to put it in flour. And you can use any kind of seasoning that you like, but to me that Cavenders is hard to beat. It's really good. Doesn't have a particular strong flavor one way or the other. And then you can double batter if you want to. I'm just going with a single, but you can't, stick them back in the milk. Sometimes that gives them a better coating. Shake that up. Those should be good to go. And now I'm going to put everything in the, bring you over here and put everything in the cook, and we'll see how it looks. So I got my mushrooms, onions, and bell pepper in here, and that's pretty well done. I'll take my armadillo, add it in here, sprinkle a little seasoning on it. Stir it up and turn that down just a little bit. It ain't gonna take long. I got my grease hot over here, but I'm gonna go ahead and finish this first. Get these in the oven, and then I'll fry that up. You can see, looking at that right there, there's no way you would ever know that that's armadillo. Maybe one reason why when people come to visit me, they tend to be cautious about what I fix to eat, and I think that's preposterous. All right, so I'm going to cut that off. We'll put the frying on hold and get our crescent rolls ready to go in the oven. Got the oven preheated to 375 as per the instructions on my pack of crescent rolls, and all I'm going to do, spray my pan, figure out how to open this thing. Peeling super easy. Maybe that'll be enough. I want me like some biscuits, that ain't working either. Go figure. There we go. Whatever it takes. So I got 8 rolls in here. Probably could fill 2, maybe 3 up full. So what I'm going to do is take them and unroll. And actually, what I may do is, instead of peeling them out when I did the bobcat rolls, I split them all up individually into squares because I knew I was going to be feeding some multiple people. For this, I may just do a couple of kind of large ones. So that's actually 4 rolls there. Just going to take put it to one side. I said, I did this. I don't even know where I heard this or got this idea, but I thought it did work really well. Something a little bit different than just, you know, frying or whatever. Then I'm going to take some shredded cheese and put a big old healthy topping of that on there. And we'll see if we can roll them up. There we go. Ain't too shabby. Put my cheese back over the top. Take the remaining rolls, because there's no way my wife is eating armadillo crescent rolls, and I'll just make some regular ones. Gotta keep mama happy. Plus these things are delicious anyway, just by themselves, so can't turn down. Y'all go with crescent or croissant? I debated, but I was going with crescent on this one. I don't want to sound too French. Then we're going to go to the oven. Since everything is already cooked in there, I'm just cooking to the, you know, the meat and everything is already done. So I'm cooking to the recommendation of 11 to 13 minutes or until golden brown. So that 8:13. So we've got a few minutes now. Let's fry this other and see what it looks like. All right, got my grease ready to go. This isn't, we ain't deep frying here. This is how I always kind of frying my game meat, deer, squirrel, whatever. Just, you won't have to turn it at once. Put it in there. Frying just like it ought to be. Give it just a little bit of time. We'll flip her over. You see it's browning up nice. Go ahead and flip. I should have not had my grease quite so hot. A perfect little golden brown color there. You're making a little rice and gravy too, huh? Alright. We'll go ahead and pull it out. See, got some pretty good brownage on both sides. And I don't know how to tell. My wife always asks, how do you know it's done? Well, it's brown on both sides. It's done. She's usually a little harder to convince than I am. But there we have it, some prime armadillo backstrap. Let's see, let her cool down and we'll see what she tastes like. Alright. I believe our crescent rolls are just about done. I'll say we give our fried armadillo a taste. You would never guess that's armadillo. I was trying to think, it kind of reminds me a little bit of squirrel, but not as strong as squirrel. I mean, that's very mild. Don't know if you want to go out and start catching or shooting armadillos to eat, but if you're ever curious, my vote is there's nothing wrong with it. You can get past the cleaning part. It's fit to eat. All right, took a little bit longer than the regular rolls, the plain rolls. I pulled it out. I'd say it's probably about 5 minutes longer. These are definitely bigger. They cooked up pretty plump. So I'm gonna give them a few minutes to cool down, and then we'll dig in and see if that stacks up to the fried armadillo backstrap. I gotta tell you, them things look pretty good. I'm just gonna give you a close up of the fried. I mean, heck, you think that was turkey breast or deer tenderloin or anything, and those are pretty good. Let's dig in and see what it tastes like. All right, so we got our fillies here. I probably should have made it. Actually, they didn't turn out too terribly big, but making them with a single crescent instead of two would have probably worked out a little better for eating, but maybe it won't be too hot. We'll dig in. I don't think I got any armadillo there, but the other stuff tastes good. Pretty hot. That's good. That just that sweet flavor of the crescent roll and that other stuff in there. You can do this with any meat and you won't be disappointed. Here we go. There again, no, I mean, you would never guess that wasn't chicken, deer, pork, anything. I mean, there's no strong flavor whatsoever. And that's, if you never tried cooking like that, especially with that, I don't know, I like sweet stuff even with my meal, but those crescent rolls, combining that with your recipe, it's pretty jam up. So my vote, if you're in a bind and you need to eat armadillo, I don't think you'll be too disappointed. Like I said, if you can get past the cleaning, because them things usually stink to high heavens. But if you can get it down to the meat, it's fit to eat. Y'all let me know what you think. Let me know when you're going to start cooking your armadillo.